Oh, Francis. Oh, Francis. Now, don't worry. Some of the videos here and in the future will be Hollywood oriented. We will still be doing a lot on Scientology, true crime, and other topics, so please like and subscribe. However, I do think, unfortunately, this is very relevant to certain other debates happening in, quote, the true crime field about how victims tell their stories. They sometimes misremember or exaggerate, and how the guilty parties are not as guilty as we think. That's not this case. If anything, Francis has been people have taken it too light on him, and I will admit I have a bit of a personal story here, but I will skip that. I will do that in a future video. But essentially, Francis apparently got caught being overly aggressive with some female extras on the set of his quote passion project, Megapolis. And I will be brutally honest, I've seen the trailer and I've seen little parts of it. I usually do a trailer reaction or breakdown on the other channel, Examining Kubrick. Yeah, Megapolis just looks terrible. Just looks terrible. It doesn't seem like it's a good story, etc., etc. But we're gonna skip over Megapolis. But the production said apparently Frances has been caught kissing an extra. Whether she wanted to be kissed, we're gonna have to wait and see. Another problem, this isn't the only case. Apparently, there's now more and more stories coming forward where he was being very unprofessional. And again, it's consistently like he was forcing one woman to sit on his lap. He was constantly trying to be sexual with the other extras. Now, you might think this is just one major mistake or dilemma, but no, Francis has several, so I will go through two other major ones, though. He does have a very scandalous past. So, for instance, back in the day, he bankrolled and helped bring about Victor's first film with Clown House. Well, who is Victor? Well, he is the director of Jeepers Creepers, which unfortunately, I don't think I actually paid money for this, but I did see it and did not know what I was looking at. So the film itself is fine, but Victor is a horrific mess. Apparently, what happened on Clown House, which was filmed on Francis's estate, so this is on his property, essentially, no nice way of putting it, Victor hurt a child, and the child victim has spoken up. They have put things on YouTube. You can Google it. Again, YouTube is very sensitive about these things. I can't get into it more, but the victim has come public, have come forward. There was even a trial, and he was guilty. He did serve some time, although it was to quote a lesser charge. And Francis, when he found out, tried to defend Victor and was going on and on about how love is love and they were both young and yada yada yada. Well, unfortunately, I don't even think he believes that. It seems like a very blatantly commercial transaction. Namely, Victor was an up and coming director. Jeepers Creepers made a lot of money. It's a successful franchise relative to the horror genre. Right? It was made cheaply, but it made good money. So they have a financial commercial relationship. So it is seemingly blatantly based on greed. Maybe Francis, based on his own behavior, doesn't really care what you do on the set. But there we are. Added to this, yeah, this is another controversy. When he was filming Apocalypse Now, apparently, I know some articles are calling Ferdinand Marcos president. No, he was a dictator. He literally overthrew democracy in the early 70s. So when they were filming Apocalypse Now, Francis negotiated with Marcos to use his military equipment. So, yeah, we got a guy who deals with dictators, has questionable acts in his own case, and is willing to justify some pretty horrific behavior of, quote, his protege if he can make money. And yes, Francis is one of those people who moralizes how Hollywood is destroying my art. Hollywood is destroying the cinemas. Oh my God. And even criticizes publicly George Lucas for selling out. Which I agree, George Lucas has sold out. I know someone else who has sold out. Look in the mirror, maybe. That said, most of what Francis does is rock solid. He is a great director. Most of his films are not troubled, but he does have many films with this very horrific record where he or his quote associates have done some pretty questionable things. So, not here to cancel him, just giving a broader context to what he does. And people saying, well, this is just one major scandal. No, no. Francis has a few major scandals. He's had these major scandals for a while, and he's been very coy and very deceptive about them. In fact, you can even read articles now. They never reference Victor Salva or the Jeepers Creepers controversy. I should know because, again, I'm an avid horror movie fan. I had to learn about this. I had no clue. So, yeah, he's covered up some really bad things from his own past and from the past of other people. And that is where we are. So, we'll have to wait and see how bad it was on Megapolis. And I will be fair. I will try to judge the trailer and the film on its own terms. But yeah, it's not looking good for either project.